Starting your Lock or natural hair journey is oh so rewarding, but can be extremely stressful when you start to consider what products to use. If that's you, then look no further. Locklicious is a black-owned company that has created an all-natural product line for locked and loose natural crowns. The Locklicious team works hard to ensure that their products are free of parabens, phthalates, sulfates, PEG, synthetics, and other toxic chemicals you find in other products. Best of all, the products are lightweight and will not leave residue or cause buildup. Go to locklicious.com to start treating your crown like royalty.
Some black folks, think that even if you join the Republican Party, that you're going to be treated any different. Let me tell you something. The Democrat Party and the Republican Party isn't for black folk. Now, you have a lot of silly, ignorant, very, very ignorant, emotional Negroes that think when I talk about the Democrat Party that I'm part of the Republican Party. And I've said many, many times, I believe that we should be independent, not part of the Democrat Party, not part of the Republican Party, because now one of them does any good for black people. Let's just call it what it is, right? I believe we should be politically independent and we need to make our own decisions and go with candidates that's going to meet a black agenda. If none of them meet a black agenda, then we don't vote for them. I don't believe no one should be a part of these parties. But you have some black folks, just much you got the hardcore Democrat shills, you have the hardcore Republican shills as well. And some of these black Republican shills think they can get away with what the white ones get away with. And that's not happening. Case in point, this story. Now, we know January the 6th, it was a coup against the United States of America led by right-wing, Trump-loving extremists. Now, during the time of Trump, just to recap, I made 130 videos about Trump. I counted them all, 130 videos about Trump and his antics. But yeah, you get mad when I talk about Biden. Well, if I talked about Trump, why do you think I want to talk about Biden? Well, anyway, so this particular black man thought that he was like them folks. But let me tell you what happened to him, okay? Now, a lot of these people are only getting 3 months in jail for those who actually stormed the Capitol, win the Capitol. Some of them getting 3 months, 6 months. That's all they kind of getting. They're not getting much or nothing. But you had a black man that was in a hotel room in Washington, D.C. by the name of Troy Smocks from Dallas, Texas, okay? He admitted to posting threatening social media messages online the day of the coup against the United States. And do you know they sentenced him to 14 months in prison? They say the harshest sentence that any of them have gotten, a black man is the one that got it. Have you not learned? How many times have I told y'all is a law for you and is a law for them? This is a prime example of what I was talking about. Now, he's 58 years old. They say he appeared before U.S. District Judge Tanya S. Chutkan, they say, for sentencing Thursday on one felony count of transmitting threats in interstate commerce. Yes, when people making threats online, that's actually a crime. But they enforce that law when they want to, and then a lot of times they don't want to enforce that law, right? If you're making threats to people on social media, no matter where you at, you're actually committing a federal crime. I don't think you know that, because anything that's across state lines is federal, right? But they said, now, there's a quote. It says, I'm no Dr. Martin Luther King, but we do share the same the skin color and the same idea of justice. I just want to be treated equally, Smock said in his sentencing, after claiming that he was treated more harshly during court proceedings due to the color of his skin. Now, the judge is also black and rejected requests from Smock's attorney for a time served sentence at a low end of 8 to 14 months. It's recommended by federal guidelines to dismiss the defendant's claim that his sentence was unnecessarily harsh because of the color of his skin. So they got a black federal judge, right? There's not that many of them. A black federal judge was on this case, and he thought he was going to get time served, which maybe some instances he probably would. Well, put it like this: if he had the right skin color, he would have got time served. Let me say that much. He would have definitely went home. Okay. So the judge says, I have not seen scintilla of evidence that prosecutors' decisions have been racially motivated, is what the judge told this brother at the hearing. Now, if Brother Sharif can put this sister's picture up, that's if you see that's her right there. That's the judge, a black woman. So Smocks admitted last month to posting a message on the social media network Parler under the handle Colonel T. Perez the day after the riot, which was viewed at least 54,000 times. Now, this guy was not at he wasn't there. So a guy that wasn't there got a longer sentence than the people that were there. It don't matter if it's a black judge. That black judge is in the system of white supremacy. Okay? Just call it what it is. Just because somebody black doesn't mean they on the team. Let me say that much. But he wasn't on the team either, because anybody black would know you don't go over there with the white folks acting a fool. Black folks know that. There's certain things that they can do and get away with, and certain things that we won't get away with. Because how many of us know if we would have done that mess, it wouldn't have been no, oh, look at them. Wow, this is messed up. No, it would have been all kind of hollow point bullets and everything else. It would have came at black folks. They'll say, oh, we had to use lethal force. They were storming the Capitol. It's a little different than just in the city. We had to protect the federal building. Oh, yeah, they would have been mowing black folks down with the quickness. They'd have brought out some weapons. They've been wanting to try on black folk if the black people would have did that. So at the time, he said they need to prepare this Negro here, dumb Negro, prepare our weapons and then go get them, right? And he said, let's hunt these cowards down like the traitors they are, each of them. He said, this includes rhinos, Dems, and tech execs. We now have the green light. Now, he's talking like he's part of the right wingers. And that's just not going to work. That's not going to work, bruh. And you seeing for yourself the hard way. Now, they said that one of the few black people among the 600 plus defendants charged so far, Smocks argued that his treatment has been unfair compared with others who did it actually enter the Capitol. But the judge said that she has not seen evidence that suggests Smocks' prosecution has been racially motivated, and she noted that Smocks expressed little remorse for his actions. And he said, people died fighting for civil rights, she said. For you to hold yourself up as somehow a soldier in that fight is very audacious. Well, the way she's responding, she is basically checking a raccoon. That's the way she kind of responded. Like, how you gonna sit up here and talk about you being singled out in the fight for black people? So that's what it's kind of sounding like. That's interesting. But you know what? I don't feel bad about his sentence. I don't. He should have got longer. Because you look at, I'm not a federal judge, because it's not just him. And you stormed the Capitol? Oh, you stormed? Oh, you know what? All right, gotcha. Bet. Well, I'm going to give you about 20 years or whatever the max guidelines I can give you. I'm giving you the max. Anytime you come in front of me, I don't want to hear no talk of it. I'm giving you the max. Forget that. Now, they said the sentence exceeded what prosecutors requested. They said the time that he already served in jail during which he tested positive for COVID-19, and said Smocks has a 2-decade-long criminal history, and prosecutors has said he bought a plane ticket to leave the country shortly before his arrest. As his social media accounts indicated that he had been a colonel, but authorities found no records of military service. The prosecutors found evidence he had long passed himself off as a veteran and had a history of fraud-related convictions going back to the 80s all the way to 2006. So he was a career criminal. They said though he stayed out of legal trouble, they said over the past 2 decades, they say Smocks' sentence was the longest. It's an 8-month term. It had been handed down in July to a crane operator from Florida, they said, who breached the Senate chambers while carrying a Trump campaign flag. So basically, she gave him more time than even what the prosecutors wanted him to have. So I think he pissed her off. From what I'm reading here, he just kind of pissed her off. And she said, how dare you gonna sit up here and try to say that? You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and hit you up with this time here. But you know what can we learn from this lesson? I'm talking about to the raccoons. And we talking about the raccoons on the left and the raccoons on the right. We talking about both. What could you learn? You're not them folks. You're this. Never forget that. You're this. And as long as you're this, it's a set of laws for you. It's a set of laws for them. That's why I talked about in my book, Passive Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. I talked about that in a beginner's way. That's why even in the ad, you hear me say that, because it's the truth. Anybody living in America long enough, you know it's rules for them and then rules for you. You're living in the same country. It's a racial caste system. It is. But, you know, maybe next time, some of you that's getting all brand new and thinking you'll go out there and do dirt with them folks, just remember, you gonna be the one going to prison, not them. But, you know, let me know, you know, in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, you know, what you think about this particular story. I think it's quite actually funny in a lot of ways, but that's what he get. That's exactly what he get. You know, you need to be joining with your own community and trying to fix our own issues and problems. Stay out of them white folks' business.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out the African Diaspora News Channel app in the Google Play and Apple App Store. Living in America as a black person, you recognize there is one set of laws for you and one set of laws for those, especially in the white community. In our book, Passive Aggressive Racism in the System of White Supremacy, I take you through times in my life when I first started noticing white supremacy. We teach you how to recognize it, identify it, and also counter it in our book. This book is a beginner's course for those that are just starting to wake up and open their eyes to see the system of white supremacy. As a black American person, you must understand this system, because this system is life or death to you. How you handle it, how you deal with it, it can affect your mental health if you don't understand this system. Pick up our book, Passive Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy, today on Amazon.